Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Aurora Online Classes. Dear students, once I am back, and today I am with a new lesson for you, and that is Glimpses of India. Actually, Glimpses of India in this under this heading, I would say that there are three stories, and all these three stories give us glimpses of India. And under this heading, Glimpses of India, we have three stories. We have these stories. The first story is a baker from Goa, which we are going to study today. Then we have Kurg, and at last we have tea from Assam. So we have three stories under Glimpses of India, and all these three stories tell us about different aspects of India. They tell us about the life of different regions. They tell us about the tradition and culture of different regions, different areas. They tell us about the interesting places, about the people, their lifestyle, their religion, their traditions, their civilizations. Means from these three stories we come to know about the people, their lifestyle, their civilization, their culture, their tradition, their mode of life, about different regions of India. So all these three stories give us a glimpse of India. They give us a look or vision of India. They tell us lot about India. So there is a glimpse of India. Now the first story, that is a baker from Goa. Goa is a very beautiful city, a very beautiful state. This is situated on the sea, on the seashore, and it is in the lap of nature. Everybody knows, and we also know that once Goa remained under the rule of the Portuguese people. Actually, the Portuguese were once the ruler of Goa. They ruled over Goa. Goa was under the administration of, under the rule of the Portuguese. And the Portuguese are Europeans. They are from Portugal, a European countries. So actually they had a very great role in the society of Goa, in the culture of Goa. The Portuguese had a large impact, I would say. I would say that the Portuguese had a deep effect or deep impact, or you may say that a deep influence on the people of Goa. And actually today we shall study about a baker from Goa, and this is by Lucio Rodrigues. In this, actually, this is a paint portrait of a traditional Goan village baker who still has an important place in the society. In this lesson, the author tells us about a traditional Goan village baker. Baker is a person who makes bread, who makes bread for us. So you know that the bread that we eat, and which is made in bakery, which is baked in bakery, this is bread. So Goa is known for its bakery, its bread, as Agra is known for its murabba, Maner is known for its laddu. So Goa is known for its bread. And the Portuguese were, when Goa was under the Portuguese rule, so the Portuguese were very famous for making bread. Now the Portuguese left Goa a long time ago, but bakery is still done in Goa. And actually this is a family profession. Bakery is a family profession in Goa, which is still carried on. The Portuguese left Goa a long time ago, but bakery is still there, bakers are still there, and they this still exists there, and they are still engaged in the profession of bakery. So those days the author was as a child, and he recalls how the elders miss, how the elders remember, how the elders fondly remember of the good old Portuguese days, and they also remember the bakers, and they were fond of bread which was made by the Portuguese. Now Portuguese are not there, but bakery is still there, furnaces are there, everything is there, and they are actually, this family business or this family tradition, this family profession is still carried on by the generation, by the bakers of the next generations. So by the bakers of the next generations or coming generations, this family profession is still carried on there. Those days, the narrator, means the author of this story, was a child, and how does he remember what used to happen there, how bread is an important part of their culture, how bread is an important part of their society. It still has an important part in the society. So let us see. Our elders are often heard reminiscing nostalgically about these good old Portuguese days, the Portuguese and their famous loaves of bread. They were famous for their loaves of breads. Those eaters of loaves might have vanished, means disappeared, they have gone, but the makers are still there. We still have amongst us the mixers, the molders, and those who bake the loaves. The author says that the elders is still fondly remember the old Portuguese days, and they still remember the bakers, they still remember bread made by the bakers. Moreover, further the author says that the eaters of loaves, who were the eaters of loaves of bread? The Portuguese were the eaters of loaves of bread. They have gone, they left Goa a long time ago, but the bakers are, the makers of loaves are still there, and all the machines used for bakery or bakery machines are still there. Bakery is still there in Goa. They have the furnaces in which bread is furnace, in which bread is baked. They have the molders. Molders are the machines which give different shapes to the bread, and then they have mixers. So mixers, molders, and furnaces still exist in Goa. So even the Portuguese are not there in Goa now. They left a long time ago, but bakery is still carried on. This profession is still carried on in Goa. This is what, and elders fondly remember those sweet days, those good sweet days, those good old Portuguese days, as the Portuguese were famous for making loaves of bread. The fire in the furnaces has not yet been extinguished. Reminiscing means recall or remember. Nostalgically means thinking fondly of the past. Extinguished means blow out, bujha dena. The thud and jingle of the traditional baker's bamboo heralding his arrival in the morning can still be heard in some places. Maybe the father is not alive, but the son still carries on the family professions. Those old bakers are not there, but their sons are still carrying out this profession. These bakers are even today known as peder in Goa. These bakers, those who make bread, isn't it? They are still there. They are still, bakery is still there, and they still make bread in Goa. There are so many bakeries. There are so many bakeries is still in Goa, and these bakers are called Pedder in Goa. Pedder actually is a Portuguese name, or you can say that we have a Portuguese word padder for bakers, means those who make bread, those who bake bread are the makers, are the bakers of bread, and these bakers are called padder in the Portuguese language. So padder is a Portuguese word for bakers. Actually, they used to keep a bamboo stick. They used to carry a basket. The bakers used to carry a basket along with a bamboo stick, and they used to hit the ground. They used to, I mean, the bakers, the bread seller, they used to hit the ground. They used to bang the ground by the jingling sound of bamboo. So they used to have a musical entry. So they used to carry basket full of bread, and this basket was tied with a bamboo stick, and the bamboo stick, they used to hit the bamboo stick on the ground to create some musical sound, jang jang sound or jingle sound of the bamboo. And this jingle sound of the bamboo used to wake up the children from their sleep. So this was their entry, this was their musical entry by the bakers. So it is still there, bakery is still there, bakers are still there. They are known as padder. Padder is a Portuguese name for the bakers. During our childhood in Goa, the baker used to be our friend, companion, and guide. The writer says that during our childhood in Goa, the baker used to be our friend, companion, and guide. He used to come at least twice a day. Once when he set out in the morning on his selling round, and then again when he returned after emptying his huge basket. The jingling thud of his bamboo, underline it, the jingling thud of his bamboo woke up us from sleep, and we ran to meet and greet him. Why was it so? Was it for the love of the loaf? Not at all. The loaves were bought by some paskin or bastin. Paskin or bastin means maid servant. It is also a Portuguese name for maid servant. In Portuguese language, maid servant is called paskin or bastin. What we longed for, long means desire. What we longed for were those bread bangles which we choose carefully. Sometimes it was sweet bread of a special make. So actually the poet remembers his childhood, and he says that baker used to be very close to their family. That is why he says, since the baker used to be very close to their family, so the baker used to be their friend, companion, and guide. And the baker used to come twice a day. First of all, the baker on his selling round used to come in the morning. And how did he come? He came to them, he visited them with a jingling thud of the bamboo. He used to hit the ground with the jingling thud of the bamboo. That was the sound. And this jingling thud of the bamboo used to wake up the children from sleep, and the children ran to the baker, and the baker used to get surrounded by the children. As you may have seen in the streets selling, the vendors, many vendors come into the streets, and when the vendors come into the street or in your lanes, especially during evening hours, you must have seen that the children make a circle around the vendors, means the vendors get surrounded by those children. So there gets a crowd, there is a crowd of the children around the vendors. The same thing used to happen with the bakers. The bakers used to come twice, first in the morning and then in the evening, while returning back in the evening. Now, so for what did they go? They used to go for the loaves of bread. Actually, the loaves of bread were for the elders, and their paskin or bastin, their maid servant, used to buy, means the paskin, the maid servants, or the bastin, you say in the Portuguese language. They used to go to the baker, and they used to buy bread from the baker for the family, and children used to surround the bakers. And actually the children used to go for the bangle sept bread, bangle sept, ring sept bread, ring sept bread. So they used to go for the ring sept bread, that is bangle bread. So bangles bread, this is the ring sept, this is the ring sept bread. The children used to go to the bakers for their a special type of bread, that is ring sept bread. This is bangle bread. Actually this was it was sweet bread of a special type. For this the children used to go to the baker. The baker made his musical entry on the scene with the jang jang sound of his specially made bamboo staff. Staff means stick. As I said, that the baker used to make a musical entry on the scene. So the banger means the baker used to make jang jang sound of his bamboo staff. So this was the announcement of the arrival of the baker. One hand supported the basket on his head and the other banged the bamboo on the ground. On one hand he used to one hand means he used to support the basket on his head with his one hand, and with the second hand he used to bang the bamboo on the ground to create jang jang sound or jingle sound of the bamboo. So this musical sound was the indication of the baker's arrival, and this musical sound also used to attract the children towards him. Now he would greet the lady of the house with good morning and then place his basket on the vertical bamboo. Big kids would be pushed aside with a mild rebuke and the loaves would be delivered to the servants. The children used to make a crowd over there, and the elders, the parents, grandfather, they used to rebuke, they used to give a mild scolding to the children not to make a crowd around the bakers, and the maid servant used to come to buy bread from the bakers, and the baker used to greet the lady with good morning. So but children couldn't give up, but we would not give up. We would climb a bench or on the parapet, means boundary wall, and peep into the basket. Actually though the children used to get a mild scolding from their elders not to make a crowd over there, but for some time the children used to go away from there, but the children used to be on the boundary wall, they used to be on the bench or on some boundary wall to take a look in the basket. They used to search whether the ring sept or bangle sept bread is there or not. So it is clear that the children used to long for ring sept bread. For this they used to visit the baker, or for this they used to make a circle round the bakers. I can still recall the typical fragrance of those loaves. Loaves of bread had a typical fragrance. Fragrance means scent, good smell. Actually, freshly baked bread has typical fragrance. So there used to be a typical fragrance of freshly baked bread, and loaves for the elders and the bangles for the children. Then we did not care to brush our teeth or wash our mouths properly, and why should we? Who would take the trouble of plucking the mango leaf for the toothbrush, and why was it necessary at all? The tiger never brushed his teeth. Underline it. Hot tea could wash and clean up everything so nicely after all. Actually, they were so curious to know about their bangle sept bread. That's why they did not think it necessary to brush their teeth with a mango leaf, isn't it? And the writer justifies this statement that there was no need for a child, there was no need to brush the teeth with a mango leaf when they saw the bread in the basket. Because once you take bread, you just take your bread, and if you take tea after taking bread, everything will be cleaned up with tea. So there is no need to brush the teeth. That is how the writer justifies that there is no harm taking bread, even if you don't brush your teeth. Now the author says that actually bakery bread is a very important part of Goan society, of the society of Goa, or it has a very important part in the culture of Goa. How is it an important part? What is the importance of bread? Let us know. Marriage gifts are meaningless without the sweet bread known as the ball. Ball actually is a name for sweet bread. Ball is a Portuguese name. It's a he says marriage gifts are meaningless without the sweet bread known as the ball. Ball is the sweet bread. Just as a party or feast loses its charms without bread, marriage's gifts are meaningless. They are valueless without sweet bread. And what is sweet bread known as? Ball. Ball is the sweet bread. This is all are the bakery products. Not even actually there was no charm in the party. There was no charm on any occasion without this ball, without this sweet bread. So bread is a must in any marriage. Not even can be said to show how important a baker can be for a village. A village, actually baker was a very important person for a village. The lady of the house must prepare sandwiches on the occasion of her daughter's engagement. The lady of the house what did they prepare? They prepared sandwiches on the occasion of her daughter's engagement. Cakes and boli bolinhas. Bolinhas is a sweet, is a kind of sweet, or you can say it is prepared with coconut. So it is a coconut cookies. Bolinhas are a coconut cookies. So cakes, bolinas are a must for Christmas as well as other festivals. So festivals are a part of our culture. Festivals are a part of our life, and Christmas and other festivals are meaningless without cakes, without bolinas, isn't it? So cakes, bolinhas, sandwiches, they are a part and parcel of any festival. Any festival is meaningless without these bakery products. And cakes, bolinhas are a bakery products. So thus the presence of the baker's furnace in the village is absolutely essential. The baker's furnace, the furnace is a machine in which bread is made, bread is prepared, bread is baked. So it is a bread baking machine. So furnace is still there. It's very important. The baker or bread seller of those days had a peculiar dress known as the kabai. The author was a child. He says that the baker or bread seller of those days used to wear a special dress. They used to wear a peculiar dress, and this dress was called kabai. So they used to put on, the bread seller or baker, padder, we call padder in Portuguese language. They used to put on a peculiar dress. A special dress means peculiar dress. This was different from others, and this dress is known as kabai. It was a single piece long frock reaching down to the knees. Actually, kabai used to be a very loose dress, and this kabai was a single piece long frock reaching to the knees, which reached down the knees, reached down to the knees. So they used to, kabai is a single piece long frock reaching down to the knees, and it used to be loose. Who used to put on? Bakers used to put on. In our childhood, we saw bakers wearing a shirt and trousers which were shorter than full length ones and longer than half length. The writer clearly says that they have also seen bakers wearing a shirt and trousers, and the shirt and trousers were shorter than full length, isn't it? And longer than half pants. Even today, anyone who wears, he says, even today, anyone who wears a half pant which reaches just below the knees, he is said to be dressed like a padder. Padder means Batter means baker or bread seller. So if anyone today, the writer says, if anyone today wears a half pant which reaches just below the knee, is said to be a baker, said to be dressed like a baker. The baker usually collected his bills at the end of the month. The baker's life was very very prosperous. Actually, the baker it was a very profitable business, and they had fixed customers, and they used to earn a lot of money. They had fixed customers, they had income, and it was on great demand. It was in demand. It was in great demand. Bread was in great demand, and they used to get a lot of money. They used to earn a lot of money. The baker usually collected his bills at the end of the month. Monthly accounts used to be recorded on some wall in pencil. Baking was indeed a profitable profession in the old days. Underline it. The baker and his family never starved. Starved means remain hungry. Actually, as I said, that baking is a good profession. It was a profitable profession. Bakers used to earn a lot of money. Their family never starved. Their family never remained hungry because they used to earn a lot of money. Their lifestyle was very good. They had a comfortable lifestyle. His family and his servants always looked happy and prosperous. The baker's family, the baker himself, the baker's family and servants, they used to be very happy and prosperous. There was no lack of money. They used to earn lots of money. Their plump physique. So plump physique means pleasantly fat body. Plump physique means plumpy physique. Plumpy body means pleasantly fat body. गोल मटोल, अच्छा खासा मोटा. Their plump physique. Whose physique? Whose pleasantly fat physique? Whose plumpy body? The baker's plumpy body was an open testimony. Testimony means evidence or proof. Open testimony to this. Even today, any person with a jackfruit-like physical appearance is easily compared to a baker. The writer says that the baker used to have a good earning. Family was very rich and prosperous. There was no lack of money. They had a good lifestyle. They had a good position in the society, and their plumpy physique means their pleasantly fat body. In Hindi, gol matol chehra, isn't it? So they used to be like that, and their plumpy body was a proof to their prosperity. Their plumpy body was a proof that they have good income, and they looked like, even today, the writer says, even today, if anybody has the physical appearance like jackfruit, kathal in Hindi, it's a vegetable, he is compared to a baker. Means even today, if anyone has an appearance like jackfruit, he is compared to a baker. So those days, baker used to be very happy. They had a good earning. Thank you very much. So today we have studied the lesson, a baker from Goa. This is all for today, my dear students. Thank you very much. I hope whatever I have taught you, it is clear to you. Thank you very much. That's all for today.